Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today we have Sports News episode 32. So, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. So, we're going to talk about college football, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and soccer. So, since we have a lot to talk about, let's jump right in. We're going to start with college football. The College Football Playoff Management Committee is considering hearing a 12-team playoff proposal, which would expand the current 4-team playoff proposal to 12 teams when they meet in Chicago June 17th. So, I hope it gets expanded. I want to see 16 teams because no team should get a bye. But if they were to pass this, then it would be the 4 best conference champions, meaning unless Notre Dame joins the ACC or a conference, they wouldn't be able to get a bye in the top 4. And they agreed on that. The Notre Dame person who helped come up with the proposal agreed to that because Notre Dame doesn't play a 13th conference championship game. So it would be the 4 best conference champions. It doesn't have to be from Power 5 conferences. So if Cincinnati was in there last year, in the AAC, not a Power 5 conference, that would be perfectly fine. But what I don't agree with is how they get a bye. So, the format, no team should really get a bye. But I think it should be, so you should have the 4 best teams get a bye. That's what I think. So, it's the 4 best conference champions get a bye, and then seeds, and then 5 through 12 are at-large bids, meaning any conference, independents, anything, and then they play each other as play-in. So, it's formatted like that. I hope it passes. So please comment your thoughts of how you think the college football playoff should be, because that's going to be interesting to hear what you guys think. So we're going to go over to the NBA. Kyrie Irving injured his ankle. He injured it in Game 4, and he will be out Game 5. Nets shooting guard James Harden is hopeful for Game 5. So, Harden suffered a hamstring injury, and he's hopeful to return. But otherwise, if he doesn't even play, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Kevin Durant to really perform tonight for the Nets, so that they can probably pick up the win against the Bucks. So, playoff update in the NBA Round 2. In the West, Jazz and Clippers series is tied 2-2. The home team has won each game. Game 5 is tomorrow. My prediction for this series is still the Clippers. The Nuggets get swept by the Suns. Suns sweep Nuggets 4-0. Suns will play the winner of the Jazz Clippers series. And in the East, 76ers and Hawks. The series is tied 2-2, with Game 5 being played tomorrow. My prediction is 76ers in 6 games. And now the Nets and Bucks series. The home team has won each game. The Bucks really took advantage of the Nets' injuries to their key players. With the series knotted at 2, Game 5 will be played tonight. And I think whoever wins this game is going to have an advantage moving forward. However, no matter who wins this game, I think it's going to be the Nets advancing. Let's go over to the NHL. The Rangers have hired a new head coach, Gerard Gallant. He led the Vegas Golden Knights to the Stanley Cup final in 2018. So the Rangers fired Coach David Quinn a few weeks ago, which made completely no sense to me because they just put him in charge of coaching a new young team after rebuilding. So at least they found the new coach, and he has playoff experience by leading Vegas to the Stanley Cup final. He's also a coach for other teams, but most recently Vegas. Playoff updates in the NHL. Round 2 recap. In the West, Vegas Golden Knights beat Avalanche 4-2. In the North Division, Canadiens sweep the Jets 4-0. And in the East, the Islanders beat the Bruins 4-2. And in the Central, the Lightning beat the Hurricanes 4-1. So now, in the third round, it's the semifinals. So we have Vegas Golden Knights Canadiens. Vegas leads the series 1-0. My prediction is Vegas in either 4 or 5 games. Most likely 5 games. I don't think the Canadiens will get swept, but I do think it's going to be Vegas winning. So, Vegas in 5, my prediction. Game 2 is tomorrow. Islanders versus Lightning. The Islanders currently lead the series 1-0. My prediction is Islanders in 6. Game 2 will be played tonight. So that would make Vegas Golden Knights versus New York Islanders and Stanley Cup final. I think it's going to be the Islanders. I'm sorry, not the Islanders. The Vegas Golden Knights winning the Stanley Cup. Let's go over to the NFL. Tua has 5 interceptions today alone at minicamp. So, while some people can be concerned about this, I'm not really concerned. It's minicamp. There's still a while till the season starts. So I'm not really concerned that he's got 5 interceptions today. Bears coach Matt Nagy says there's no scenario for Justin Fields starting week 1. So now here, I can sort of see this. However, if I were Matt Nagy, I wouldn't come out and say this quite yet. I do think it's going to be Dalton starting week 1, with Fields eventually taking over starting roles sometime in the season. Let's go over to the MLB. So the MLB is cracking down on foreign substances starting Monday, June 21st. And now, if you are caught using a foreign substance, you will be ejected from the game and you will receive a 10-day suspension. So now, this can affect pitchers' spin rate. For example, Garrett Cole, Shane Bieber, Corbin Burns, Trevor Bauer, their spin rate's been down ever since the news about this a week, 2 weeks ago came out. So now, here is an interesting story. Tyler Glasnow has been placed on the injured list with a partially torn UCL and a flexor strain in his right elbow, which is his throwing elbow. So now, those injuries typically require Tommy John surgery. However, the plan with Glasnow is to have him rest and reassess it from there. So now, on to the interesting part. Tyler Glasnow blames the injury on the MLB for cracking down on foreign substances. He says he had to grip the ball differently and put the ball deeper into his hand for his fastball and curveball, and he thinks that is what caused his injury. And he's even admitted to using foreign substances. He uses a combination of sunscreen and rosin. He says he uses it for a better grip of the ball, not to increase his spin rate. So, I don't really think that's what caused the injury. He could have been pitching with the partially torn UCL, because Masahiro Tanaka of the Yankees pitched a whole year with a partially torn UCL. So it might not have been this start, but it's an interesting story. So please comment your thoughts on that. I think it's just an excuse for Glasnow. Shane Bieber is on the injured list with a right shoulder strain. Max Scherzer is on the injured list with a groin strain. Mike Trout injury update. Angels manager Joe Maddon says at least another month for the star center fielder, putting his All-Star game, playing in the All-Star game in jeopardy. Another Angels injury, Anthony Rendon leaves the game with a triceps injury. He will only be out for a few days, so nothing really serious for Rendon. Luis Severino leaves his minor league start in a rehab assignment from Tommy John surgery with a groin strain. He had a grade 2 groin strain, and it pushes his returning timetable back about a month. So, for Yankees fans, as I am myself, I'm hoping he can pitch this year. I think he will maybe pitch in the regular season, but I think he'll be available for the playoffs. The best teams and worst teams. Best Rays, 43 and 24. However, they did suffer a huge blow in their rotation with ace Tyler Glasnow getting injured. Giants, 42 and 25. White Sox, 41 and 25. The worst teams: the Pirates, 23 and 42. The Orioles, 22 and 43, and the Diamondbacks, 20 and 47. So we're going to move over to soccer now. So the Copa America and the European Championships are both going on. There's not really any news about Copa America so far. However, the European Championships, also known as the Euros, have had games every day. So Cristiano Ronaldo sets the record for most goals scored in the European Championships. He now has 11 goals, and that is the most by any player all time. And he can still increase that total because he's only played one game this tournament. Some notable scores. France beats Germany 1-0. Spain and Sweden play to a 0-0 draw. England beats Croatia 1-0. Finland beats Denmark 1-0. And the reason I include the Finland-Denmark game is because Denmark midfielder Christian Erikson collapsed during the game. He suffered a cardiac arrest on the field. He's now okay. So a very, very scary injury, or not really injury, but scary collapse for Erikson, but thankfully he's now okay. So now, I will do predictions once the once the teams are set for the round of 16, because, well, yes, I can predict who I think is going to win each group. I'd prefer to just do it at the round of 16. So make sure you keep on the lookout for that just before the round of 16 for the Euros start. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you most likely Saturday when we go over the top relievers in the MLB. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And I will see you for any other breaking news otherwise on Saturday.